Hello there, this is Jeff from E.D.S. Inc. Shandon, and we welcome you on a little road trip we're taking. We're going to pick up a new machine. And what is that machine? Well, we'll leave that for the trip, and you'll be able to go along with us and see our adventure. So Zach and I are headed, and we're headed to Texas. So come join us. Well, we're probably about 40 miles east of Winslow, Arizona. Coming up on Geronimo.
Geronimo!
Yep. Oh, we've just entered New Mexico. Here's some interesting rock formations. Along the way, a lot of caves in these rock faces we've noticed here. Just since we came in, I've seen probably a dozen of these kind of cave-like formations and these rock walls. Kind of interesting. So, first impression of New Mexico. We've got a lot of miles left to go to get to where we're headed, Lone Star, Texas. We've got a good piece of traveling done so far. We've done, I think we're at, we're probably about 700 miles now travel time. So just keep on moving. Texas right now. We're now in Texas.
Yee-haw!
We just crossed another time zone, so now we're 2 hours different than our time. Our time's 4 o'clock. It's actually 6 o'clock here.
Yeah, we're in the future.
We're in the future. Here's the Welcome to Texas sign right here. That's not a very big sign. I figured Texas, everything's supposed to be big. I figured take up the whole bridge. Welcome to Texas. Don't understand that little dinky sign.
Yep.
Now we got about 300 miles to travel just to get to where we're going in the state of Texas. Came to pick up a G&L shaper, 36-inch shaper. As you can see, compared to me, this thing is massive. 17 inches across on the vise. This is set up for an inside keyway, I'm sure. So it doesn't look like it's been used in years. Got cobwebs all over it. it'll take a little bit of cleaning up and doing, but it looks like everything's in order. There's one more part here. It's part of the scrapper leak. We're gonna spend the day or the afternoon. We're gonna unbolt this thing so that we can lift it tomorrow and get it loaded. Now this is a boring machine right here. This is a practice statin. You can see right there, that's your boring unit. And this thing runs about 20 feet from one end to the other, which is probably about 16 to 18 feet tall. One massive boring machine. This whole table slides. Pretty fascinating. This is a wide bed lathe. Come and take a picture of this side here. This is a wide bed lathe, and this thing's probably about, between centers, I'd probably say maybe 16 feet between centers. Massive, massive lathe. And that looks to me like it has about a 10-inch bore through. So you could have a 10-inch rod sticking out the back side of it. It's an American lathe, massive lathe, or mill, whatever you want to call it. But this table across here is probably close to 8 feet, 10 feet. Gives you an idea. It's a Betz. It's got a head over here and a head over here. So you can cut from two sides of this thing. It's a massive machine.
It also looks like it could be a set from Star Wars.
Yeah. This is a Nomura horizontal boring machine, and you can see the width of the bed width, and it comes all the way out to here. There's your boring head right there. It's quite a machine. This is a Rockford planer. This has got a 48-inch by 12-foot long bed on this. You can imagine this would be a perfect machine to fix your lathe bed or something like that. This has got two heads on it that can operate to cut three different features on your metal as it runs through. Pretty neat machine. This thing stands probably about 16 foot tall. Overall machine, shoot, I don't know, 24 feet or so. This is a Carlton drill press, actually radial drill, and massive size. It's got a 5-foot head. It doesn't go so high. 13-inch column, and you can see me compared to it what a huge machine it is. Wish I could have it, but I don't hardly have room for what I got. And this is a Monarch lathe with about a 24-foot bed on it. It's got quite a few different steady rests. Well, this one doesn't have taper attachment, but there are a couple others that they have Monarchs over here that do. Wouldn't have room in this shop. I'd have to build a shop just to put this one. Just give you an idea of the size. The magnetic table on it is 16 inches by 72 inches. And nobody was bidding on this thing. I wanted to bid on it in the worst way. I think it went for like $400 or $500. And it's got a bunch of extra wheels on the other side, but the wheel diameter is about 18-inch diameter on the wheel on that Thompson grinder. What a machine. This is an OD grinder here. You would set your part between the two centers here, and then this big 3-inch wheel would grind whatever you had back and forth. It'd swing back and forth to grind it. Quite a machine. This is just a piece of junk here, something that came down and leaned it against here. But pretty impressive. grinder right there. Okay, so we've got our G&E shaper loaded on the truck. We've got a box up there, 1,500 pounds worth of tooling for, primarily for your tool grinding. So there were tools that I did not have that would have cost me a ton of money to get. And plus I got the box to keep them in, so that turned out real nice. And then we got a cage for our gases, which we haven't had, and the fire department has asked us to install. So now we're going to be compliant with the fire department in the shop, and our gas, our containment of our gases and what have you. So we'll be okay there. So anyway, so it was a dual purpose trip. Just that box up there was worth the trip actually. I got the G&E shaper thrown in on top of it, so good deal for us. Anyway, we're going to be heading back home now. We've got about 1,800 miles. It's, Google says it's 25 hours home, and we'll be going slower than that because that 25 hours is at prevailing speed limits. We'll be going quite a bit under that, so we'll probably be probably a day and a half or so to getting back there. So we'll be going probably about 10 miles under the speed limit. I don't think I'm going to push this any higher than 65. So, and once you get in California, you have to drive 55 anyway. So, but from here to California, the speed limit is 75, so, which is surprising. But I won't drive that fast. So anyway, we're going to pack her up. We got the truck running. We're ready to get rolling. So this is the first time Zach's used driving manual transmission. So we're not the first time, but second time. So we're riding down this little country road here. You can see how pretty it is amongst the forests and stuff here in northeastern Texas. This is a town called Dangerfield. See how he does taking off here. Not bad at all. Not too jerky. Did a good job.
Are you gonna make a commentary this whole time? Oh.
Why not? Okay, so you saw me load that big gray box, and I said there was a whole lot of tooling in it, and I never showed that to you as of yet. So here's the gray box right here, and sitting on top of it is a whole bunch of different tooling that came with it that I took out of the box. Some of it I have no clue what it's for, and others we can use here in the shop. We also have a bunch of belts. Some of them are leather, some of them are rubber and fabric, but it looked like they'd been stored here for some time. They probably went on their various different machines that they had. I'm sure different grinding machines. And I may find that one of them may fit on my Cincinnati, since they had a Cincinnati machine as well. So we may find some use to some of these. And then down here we have a whole series of collets that they had in the box. And I've kind of somewhat organized the other items so that they're a little bit neater. All these are the different, wondered where that came from. This didn't come with the rest of it. But we have all sorts of different grinding stones. So I'm pretty well set with grinding stones and cutters that we could use. Some of them are even the diamond stones. So we've got a good selection now of both the well, you can see we have right here we have the concave type ones. Tons of these different types of stones throughout here, as well as the regular grinders stones. And then in the lower part you can see that we have all sorts of centers and other tooling for tool grinding, which I didn't have before. So now we have those items that I didn't have. In fact, I've got centers, I've got quite a few different sets of them. I think there's like 4 different sets of centers for the different, probably for the different grinders that they had there, because they had about 3 of them. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. And as soon as I get my Cincinnati, which is over here onto behind you, up and running, then we'll be using those tools to good effect, hopefully, and grinding our tools and what have you. So that's what was in the gray box. I was very tickled with this purchase. We got this for, I think it was $300 or $400 for the cabinet with all the tooling. So that was a good buy. Okay, so the next thing that we have to concern ourselves, where in the world am I going to put that machine? It's about 11 foot long. It's about 4 foot wide. And when I look at my little shop, why don't you pan all the way around so I can show them the whole shop. That's my whole machine shop area, plus what's upstairs is our grinding area, and my plasma table are upstairs. So I don't have a whole lot of room. So what I've decided is what I'm going to do is move these tools from this area. I'm going to set my shaper in this area. I've got 11 feet from about right here back to that bandsaw, and that'll leave me about 1.5 foot, 2 feet between the end of my shaper and the bandsaw. Now what that'll mean is that whenever we're going to start cutting veneer or something like that, I'll have to cover the shaper so that it doesn't get coated with dust, because that bandsaw creates a great deal of sawdust. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking the small lathe back here, and we're going to set it right up here above the Bridgeport, The Monarch lathe in the back is going to go right in this area here. The Bridgeport and the cabinet will go back against that back wall. And then we'll move some of these tools against the back wall. So, and of course I'll have to do some straightening up because right now everything is a mess. But that's how we're going to make the room for this shaper. Okay, so this is our G&E shaper, and as it sits, you can tell that I've already pulled off the clapper head and the tool holder. I've started dismantling those items, and I've got them in the shop. We're going to be cleaning them up, and we'll show some video on getting those prepped. All the surfaces, the raw surfaces, I've coated with oil so that they will not rust. We haven't had much rain here in California. We had one event that was less than 1/4 inch. So we don't really have any problems with rusting sitting here, and hopefully I'll be able to get this inside in the next couple of weeks before the next rain event. So that's basically the conclusion of this road trip to Lone Star, Texas. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for participating. If you enjoyed the episode, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can give me a thumbs down. I don't mind those either. If you have any comments, go ahead and share those with us. And thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us, E.D.S. Inc. Shandon.